In today's video, I'm carving a banana for the food bowl project I have. Um, and it started by tracing a lot of lines and cutting away the section that would be under the stem of the banana with a saw that conserves more of the material. So the wedge that was created, I could maybe use it in a future project. Then I wanted the tip of the banana to be carved first because the intent is for me to use that surface as a reference for when I draw when I carve the body of the banana near the for the finalization. It's more so it was important for me that that specific surface was good from the get-go. So that's why it was the first one I carved. And then after that, I worked just on the profile view of the banana, making it carving it all so that from the side it has roughly the correct shape. Here, I knew that because banana, we tend to think of bananas as being kind of round, but they are more hexagonal. Well, technically, it's a pentagon. It's more of a pentagon in real life. I settled on doing an hexagon because it's pentagons are hard for me. So, but hexagons are much more reasonable. So, yeah, because from the tip to close to the stem, there are like 5 faces to bananas normally, and I wanted to do that. So when in this stage of the carving, I was purposely carving away from the initial line to leave me material to remove for when I was going to be doing the faces on the sides of the banana. So right now that's the top of the banana being carved. And this project was kind of long. It took me 3 streams, but I I didn't. It's hard to say how long it was compared to my usual projects. I feel like each streams was shorter because It's not that I got bored, but in one case, it felt like a good point to stop because I had finished a major step for the first session. The second session I ended because I didn't like the project, how it was going, and I needed a break. In the third session, well, I was done with the project, and really, maybe I should have. I probably could have finished this project in 2 sessions, because of considering how short the third session was. But sometimes you have to take a break, and so I did after the second session. So that's why the video is short. Also, I cut out a lot more fluff than usual when editing. Like if I felt like it was doable without it being too noticeable, when I was removing layers, I just removed. I did like I kept the start of removing the layers, then a bit of the middle, and then a bit of the end, but I cut most of the process down, so that's why the video is much shorter than the amount of filming could lead to believe. Though I was saying that I was not happy with it by the end of the second session, but and once there was paint in it, after the third session, once I'd perfected the shape more, I ended up really happy with the project. It was more of a short-term funk. So yeah. So once the top and the was finished carving, I started carving the sides. Um, Again, leaving me a lot of material to carve away when for the finishing touches. And this point here might be where I made kind of mistake. I think I left myself way too much material to remove at this point of the process because what the fact that there was too much material to remove compared to how much I had already removed were, I don't know how to explain it. When I was at the end of the second session, it felt like there was too much material to remove for where I was in the process to the project. It felt like it didn't look right enough considering that I was at the finishing touches. But that maybe because here, when I was carving the sides, I left myself too much room for error. It's not it's not a problem to leave myself a lot of room for error, but I might not have the patience required for that much room for error. If that makes sense, it's a delicate balance, which I'll get better at eventually. But it was it's not a mistake. It's just a thing, a thing to consider for the future. So here I'm tracing the hexagon that I'm going to be using as reference to make the faces of banana. And, this is where, because I left myself so much wood to remove for those faces, it felt like the angles on the hexagon that I ended up with were much too broad. The surface was much too large and it felt strange. So here you can see peeking at the corner a real banana. For the final session of carving, I decided to just bring one of my bananas down to the workshop to have there in my field of view. It really helped with confidence. I, from that, from the moment I had banana there, I was able to focus a lot more on not how I felt, how bad I felt it looked, and more on how not that, and how accurate I could make it look afterwards. I really didn't explain that real well. So for the painting, I decided to make a not that ripe banana. So I first put some spots, some green spots, that I then smudged with yellow, and then I added a few coats of yellow to so that the spots that I initially added wouldn't be that obvious. Finishing with a brown tip and some brown for the stem. I didn't have the whole stem painted brown. I did a small section in yellow. And with that, thank you for watching. Feel free to come by whenever you want. Bye.